I can't believe I haven't found anything yet. There have been thousands of makers before me. You'd think one of them would have fiddled around with the soul before.
It feels like everyone and everything around me remembers where they've come from better than I do. But the only memory I'm concerned about is that of the storms. Where do they come from? And where do they go?
Honestly, I'm trying to make more friends. Some I can only hear. But they'll be here soon enough. After all, that's what summoning's for, isn't it? I'd love it if you could be my friend too.
The thing is, I can't help but wonder. Without all of those pieces, even just one or two, who would you become? And the people for whom those pieces are gone, who have lost the parts of themselves that magic has decreed one small piece of a whole, but what happens to them?
Hello everybody, and welcome to Session 2 of Fraying Threads, an Invisible Sun campaign set in the system of Invisible Sun created by Monty Cook Games. I'm Mare, I use they, she pronouns, and I am your game master. And before we get into the recap and the meat of the game, all of my lovely players are going to go around and say hi, who they are, who they're playing, and their character sentence. We're gonna start with Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Sophrona, an established ardent of the Order of the Vance who is adored by the sea.
Yes. We're gonna go counterclockwise, so this puts us at Victor.
Hi everyone, I'm Victor, I use he, they pronouns, and I will be playing Ray tonight, a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetica who disgorges creatures. And he uses he, him pronouns.
Gilly.
Hi, I'm Gilly, and in the background, that's Treacle.
Hi, Treacle.
He would like to sing you the song of his people. Once again. I am playing Lace, who is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Weavers who splinters into fragments. My pronouns are she, her, and Lace's are she, they.
And last but not least, Kian.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. And tonight I am playing Aspen Thane, who is a connected gallant of the Order of Makers who walks with a secret companion. And Aspen uses he, they pronouns.
Our game has content warnings. Some stuff might not be suitable for all audiences. There are mature themes set in the game that it's long and varied. But the ones you need to worry about for our game right now are manipulation and some mild body horror. If you remember from last session, we had someone disgorge a creature from their own body like clay. It was a good little shark sheep friend, and they were adorable. And I meant to draw them between sessions, and I didn't.
Please,
Shark sheep.
it's always
Shark.
time for shark sheep.
Shark sheep and like reverse sheep shark that Lace drew.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And before I get into the recap, if you would like to support our lovely cast, we have a Pally for tipping. So if you put threads, exclamation point threads tip, that brings us to our Pally, which supports us directly. Anyway, session 1 of last week's game, Fraying Threads. So, our lovely cast and our lovely Vizsla went to a festival called Festival of the Path, where their goal was to go see a seer. Unfortunately, the seer was taking a very long lunch break throughout the entire course of the morning, and instead decided to kill some time. People went to the petting zoo. People tried to steal pets from the petting zoo. One was unsuccessful. One was kind of successful, but more so along the lines of it followed them out instead of an actual theft. Some folks went to look at some pretty plants while ditching the group and then got caught trying to sneak back into the group, Sophrona. And after a long morning of being licked by goats and getting some news from a friend and interrupting the goat licking, they went to go see the seer, whose name was... What was his first name? Shit.
Jared.
His real name was Jared, but he had a very long... Rorak. His name was Rorak, diviner of... Oh, this is what happens when I completely forget. He had a very long stage name, but it wasn't his stage name, it was his father's. Regardless, the magic is all the same, and he was able to spin cotton candy of the future or the past or something. He did a disclaimer, though, saying, it shows you what you need, not necessarily what you want. And all of our Vizslays had a mixed motley of visions. Some happy, some not so much. All with varying degrees of greenery, though. Friends were seen, fights were watched, and we left off with our Vizslay in the midst of a storm, bringing with it a city, a civilization that is outlined by snowflakes, and a strangled yell from a secret companion. Before we get started and jump back in media res, I have the first card of the game, which is the Eternal Mountain. Value 4, Vision, Swans, Blades, Water. Meanings unchanging, solitude, memory, eternal, and long life. The mountain stands alone and unchanging. It always has and it always will. Some find this compelling, others terrifying. The mountain sees all and never forgets what it has seen. The Eternal Mountain is the location card of the Visions family. We do not have any empaths in the party, so no one gets that +1 bonus. Green spells are enhanced and pale or hindered. 3 of you have never seen this type of storm before. This, what is supposed to be a rainstorm, which has turned to snow because you are in the pet park of the tundra, which is always bitter cold, winds blowing, tips of your fingers always freezing. And you see these snowflakes dancing around buildings and structures. It's hard to tell exactly what is not there, but you see the snow avoiding and swirling. Sophrona, this is the second time you've seen this. It is just as interesting as the first time. This time just with snow instead of rain. Aspen. Helia, your secret companion, this creature of plants with the head of a sunflower, is just frozen, staring. Leaves shaking. Other people are looking in curiosity at what is going on with this storm. Some people watch, some people continue on with their day, but many of them do chalk it up to magic bullshit and continue on with the festival. Sorry, now you may go on. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. You all would see Aspen kind of take an aborted step forward of not quite sure what to do, begins to reach out toward Helia, remembers that nobody else can see Helia, and kind of just stands there, tries to catch her attention if I can. I don't know which direction she's looking, but from where I am, I would try to see if I can make eye contact with her as much as far I can.
She kind of walked forward, so she's like in front of you, so she's like several steps away, so she's like not looking at you, so not really.
Is she screaming? Has she gone quiet?
She's gone quiet.
Okay. I will not move forward yet, and I'm going to kind of watch the rest of the group and see. how everybody else responds.
Sophrona is looking up. She's looking up toward the sky and like at the clouds, and she's like, see, this is exactly what I was talking about. This is the way it is. Actually, wait, let me see if I prep this. Can I cast Eyes of the Overworld?
What does it do? Tell me what this spell does.
It hold on one second.
Because this is a advanced spell, I believe, yes? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a advanced spell.
Yes. Let me bring it up. Eyes of the Overworld, level 2. For this round, I clearly see things that are invisible or obscured, color indigo. I'm not expecting a whole lot here, but just to make sure if this does or does not work, she's going to cast this real quick.
2 questions for you.
Yes.
1, do you try to retain the spell or do you let it go?
I'll let it go.
Okay. And what does your magic look like when you cast stuff? Because Vancians, you kind of like, Vances consider spells living creatures. Spells live in you. You take them into you. Like, what does this look like when your Vance casts a spell?
She is just going to take a really deep breath, like inhale, and then she's going to try and like exhale, like a very purposeful exhale, like as if she's trying to like blow a wind out of her. It's like a very I don't know if you know that there's this thing about like inspiration and exhalation sort of thing as like opposites. It's that sort of like blow it out.
Okay. So what I need you to do is I need you to roll 2 dice. One of them is a magic dice, so make sure you designate one of them as a magic die, and then a regular die. You're going to roll for me. Your spell level is 2, so that will be added to your venture. You don't know the challenge.
Okay. This one will be the magic one.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Okay. This is on the die, right?
Yes, on the die. And then here's the other one. The other one is a 0.
Okay, no flux because that's your regular die. It was not a 0 on the magic die. You inhale and you exhale, and all of you see this magic just exiting from Sophrona, but nothing changes to your eyes. Sophrona, it's almost like a sea mist over the ocean that breathes and moves across the ground, billowing forward into this obscured area. And you don't get the whole area because this is a very large area being brought by this storm. Just by thoughts, just in general, it's big, large, maybe city, buildings. But you see tree trunks in this mist. You see leaves and vines, all dead and withering, being surrounded in vines with purple and red-tipped thorns, not unlike your vision.
Big yikes. She's gonna take a second to process that. Also sort of out of it while she's taking a look around here.
Lace Ray and Aspen, this is your first time seeing this phenomenon.
I think Ray is kind of confused about what Sophrona's saying, and like Aspen's looking weird, and just sort of like, I think it's time to go home.
I did mention this last session, and I forgot to re-mention it again, Ray. Songbird thrums.
Oh.
Happy.
Ooh.
The best way to put it is like that feeling in your chest when like a cat is purring on you.
Yeah, I think then, let me pull this back. Ray puts a hand over his chest and sort of looks around almost like confused about like what this could mean, and kind of, I think, tries to approach like one of these places where snow is not existing because it's like hitting against something, and see if he can like touch it.
You cannot.
Okay. Just a lot of like examination of like, this is weird. There's something here, but it's not here. Yeah.
Just like I
If possible, I think there's like a really interesting angle of Lace and Shard with their like neck craned at the exact same angle as they like, because Shard is sitting on Lace's shoulder at present, so it's just very like mirror image. And I think Lace wants to work out if this is she wants to see if she can work out what kind of magic this is, if this is magic, like if it's Weaver magic, if it's something natural that is beyond her comprehension.
You can roll a intellect task. I believe Weavers have a skill that is its knowledge encompassing outside codified laws of magic.
Yeah.
You can add that. And if you want to spend an intellect Benny, you can. You'll need to roll... actually, it's not that high, but you don't know the difficulty. Are you spending an intellect Bene?
Please call it by its proper name.
A bean?
Yes. Yeah, I'll spend one of those.
Okay. A bee. We can just call them bees.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna torture you like this forever.
Not the whole season.
No.
Okay.
It was just really a shout out to Val. But anyway. So I'm rolling one.
You can roll 2 if you decide to use a sortilege from your sortilege pool.
No, I want to save that forever.
Okay.
Seems like a resource. That seems bad. That's a 4.
On the die?
Yeah.
You don't know exactly what it is, but you think it's some kind of weird natural magical phenomena. It
seems weird.
Yeah, it's not a spell that's being cast. It's not any type of Weaver magic or any of the other orders magic, not even an apostate's magic. This seems like a weather phenomena.
I think Lace takes a very long moment to look at this, like she's really thinking about it, and then just turns to Aspen and is like, seems weird.
I've certainly never seen anything like this, but it's always fun to have something new. And Aspen is going to start kind of like walking forward, arms raised, in a very like grand gesture, almost putting on a show. A weird question. If I reach out to Helia, is there a physical form there?
I was thinking about this and I didn't know how to like figure it out in my head, but I'm going to say no.
Okay. So as I am walking forward, I'm going to like pause and turn, and I'm going to stop like right next to Helia and spin around with my arm and try to like basically just hold a pose, but I am trying to encircle her in my arm to see if she will look at me.
As you like encircle her and just kind of like get really close and like as you're swinging around, kind of brush against her. Are you trying to like brush against her?
Yes,
okay.
But just barely, because I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. Plant body language is a little different than human body language, so there's no facial expressions that you can read. But you've known her long enough that she seems very confused. Something is hurting, but she doesn't seem to understand 100% why. And as you brush up against her, they look down at you and just like nods slightly before getting just super quiet again. And she whispers, I think I'm gonna go home for a bit, and I'll see you later.
I just quietly nod, but I think Aspen is feeling very off foot right now and kind of takes that second to just acknowledge what Helia has said and then turns back to the rest of the group. This is something new and fun. Sophrona, you were asking us about this. Do you know anything?
There's looks like my vision that I said before. It's not good, I don't think. It's and I'm gonna try to explain to everybody it's what I just saw. It's something, it's plants, it's dying, it's withering. It's not no, Saffrona's not very good with words, by the way. Like it's just lots of gesturing of like repetitive, like dying. It's purple. Like, do you know? Do you know?
I
Vague,
don't.
but I think.
Are you saying we should be worried about this?
Yes. I think it's. I wasn't. It's last time I wasn't. I didn't know much about it, but just now, I took a look at it with a spell, and it looks like my vision. It's something. It's a forest and it's dying. I think it's somewhere else. Actually, I think it's not here.
So, plants are dying, and their death makes it appear to be a storm here.
I don't know, but there's something about the storm that's like it. I feel like the storm might have been there at one point. I'm not sure, because I think in my vision it felt like the past, I think, or at least elsewhere. It could have been the present. It could have been right now. I don't know, but there's like something somewhere that is dying, and this storm has, I think, come from there, and I want to find out where.
Because it's a time thing. And this is, I guess, addressed to you, fearless leader.
Oh, the game master. That's me.
The game master.
That's me.
I'm a weaver, and one of my weavy things that I don't remember the name of
Aggregates. Aggregates or
those.
threads. They can be called either.
Threads, sure, that's appropriate. Threads is infinity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if I'm able to, like, weave something to work out if this is a time related.
Are you going to try and weave something?
I don't know how, but yeah.
Okay, so weaving. You have two aggregates. You have infinity, and what's the other one?
Freedom.
Infinity and freedom, and each of those have qualities listed underneath of them. You're going to choose a quality from each that you think will work towards whatever magic you're trying to cast. You tell me what you're trying to do, which qualities you're choosing, and I'll let you know how much sorcery you need to spend to get the desired effect.
Okay, let's pretend that I'm on the correct page. Okay.
Weavers are my fave. Sorry, I love weavers so much. I have a soft spot.
No, I'm very excited about it. I just don't know how. So I think this is also the wrong page. Please hold. Sorry, you may have noticed this is a large book.
So your qualities for freedom are escape, movement, destruction, joy, distance and sight. And infinity.
I want
go ahead.
Distance. I want to work out what the distance is. The actual distance.
And what are you weaving from freedom with the infinity? Your infinity choices are space, size, capacity, duration, movement, other universes, and mental damage.
I'm tempted between like movement and other universes, because I don't know if it is on like a magical plane other than this one. That would seem to be the choice, but I don't know.
I would suggest other universes. It makes more sense. will get you the
Yeah, it does kind of make... Okay, so then I guess I will go other universes. And distance, right? Like to understand more about the relationship between there and here.
You're trying to determine how far it is from where you are.
Yeah, either in time or space or universe, I guess.
Okay. And how much sorcery do you have in your pool?
I have a number of sorcery that is deeply important. More wounds, anguish, that's not what I want. I have 6.
Perfect. This will be equal to the effect of divine the answer to one question, which you need to spend 5 sorcery for. What does it look like when you weave a spell?
I think that there is probably some like gentle motion to some weavers when they do this. Lace's casting does not look gentle. It looks like all of the air has been sucked from the area that her hands are in, and it's like a crash, a quiet crash, I guess, is like what and so you hear kind of a sucking of the air. I'm watching space sci-fi shows right now, so I'm thinking like when air gets vented out of a space and you feel like the noise. And then just like the sound of shattering glass and magic occurs.
I had to look at something because to answer one of your questions. Okay. Are you focusing on, this is one answer to one question. Are you trying to see how far away in space it is or how far away in time it is? You have to choose one.
What should I do? I kind of want to do time. But space is also important.
Jeez, man.
Oh.
Hard questions.
I guess. I think Lace thinks that there's some time shenanigans going on, so I'm going time.
I never actually gave it a number of years. So this is going to be plus or minus some, okay? Many centuries.
In the past or the future?
Past.
The past. Okay, so everybody obviously sees this happen, right? Like, I'm not casting this secretly. And I think as the answer forms in Lace's head, you see that whatever manifestation of the cloud of energy, it's like a cloud that gains cracks. Like it's like an orb of cloud that cracks along the sides. And once it is completely covered in cracks, it just dissipates. And that is what it looks like. And Lace opens their eyes and says, hundreds of years ago. This storm happened hundreds of years ago, and I think it's somewhere else entirely.
That's really good to know. It's exciting.
Are we sure that it's bad? I don't feel like it's bad.
Oh.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's gone.
It's old, but it's also here. But like Sophrona was saying that it might be a bad thing, but I don't know.
I don't think I mean, I'm sure there's lots of different philosophical things about it, but I tend to think in my vision. Do you know Drosera? It's my vision. To Mare. If I recall, Drosera was distressed in my vision. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. I saw Drosera, and they seemed distressed at this, so I'm going off that. they are a lot more knowledgeable about plants here than I am, so I would assume they would know better. So I would think it's at least a little bit.
I don't know, something in it just sings to me.
Well, there are many. Some people, withering is not necessarily bad. It is part of the cycle of things, but as a question, would I be able to determine how fast this storm is moving? Like physically? It's a long shot question.
I'll say yes, just because you are adored by the sea. The water talks to you. The weather is like very close to what your forte is, and you have experienced a lot of storms in your home. Many which are not actually outside and are only viewable from your windows too. So you can have the real one and the one like you see throughout the windows. It's a pretty quick storm. It looks like it's going to be done in it's like one of those fast summer showers.
Sounds like a lot of math to calculate. Like if it was well, I can't do that now.
Like an hour or so. It'll probably be here for.
Okay. I'll consider that for later because she can't do math calculations standing out here in the park anyway.
Shard shivers a little bit. Are we just gonna keep talking here, or it's cold?
It is. We should. Aspen, how's Oswald?
Osmond.
Osmond, my apologies.
That's okay.
He's just kind of like chilling there.
Yeah,
he's content.
Pretty comfortable.
But Shard needs to be kept in the lifestyle to which he has become accustomed.
Yeah, pampered.
Yeah. So I think Lace kind of takes her jacket and or shawl and kind of wraps him in it and says, "Don't worry, we'll get you inside." I can't do it again, right? To try and determine, that feels like cheating.
You can, actually. You can take one of your action rests, replenish your sorcery pool, and then do it again, if you want.
I would like to do that. I'm sure it will come back and bite me later, but that's fine.
No, this is what magic is for. Utilize it. So you do the magic again, but this time substitute space for time.
Yes.
I gotta do directions. Northeast in your space, but kind of like displaced. So pretend, okay, this is gonna make more sense if I explain it like this. Fartown is in a pocket dimension and not in the city proper. So Fartown is in a pocket dimension within another district. And so you kind of like, in your head, you kind of feel yourself, okay, so if the district is here and I'm like above it, it's kind of like, you can tell that it's like roughly 20 miles northeast of the Hollows, which is the district that Fartown is in. Roughly.
Do I know what's up there?
Yes. To the northeast of the city proper is an area, is one of the two seas that that Saturnine has. To the northwest is the Alone, which is a very quiet sea, very still. And to the northeast is a place called the Abstraction. It's where, I don't know how the best way to explain it. It's empty space. It's where there are a bunch of half-worlds, where where another district is slowly starting to fall apart and disintegrate and float off into this area. It's very quiet and desolate and falling apart.
I think this is from the abstraction. It was the abstract. It is? I think that's where.
Where? Location?
Would it have been normal for any of us to have visited the abstraction?
Probably not the abstraction itself. I actually just pulled up the page right now. The abstraction is where which seems concrete, measurable, and solid, even more true, which is, say, less tangible and more abstract. The confluence of indigo truth and the blue showcases the truest of all, and that is in your mind. Matter slowly breaks down in the abstraction. It may take many centuries or more likely millennia, but all of Saturn will crumble and fall into the abstraction eventually. Islands of carved off land that float off the edge of the city remain a part of the city and fall under the district of and all of these areas fall under another district of the city called the Fade. And all of these islands that have broken off create an archipelago of these islands just floating out into the abstraction. Gravity also falls apart and crumbles, just as matter. It is a very large void, and you don't fall, you drift. It's like this because the abstraction is the borderland between indigo and blue, and there's actually dream clouds there that people can sail on. If you know how to sail on them, it can be very dangerous. It's tangible absence. And there's it's probably pretty unlikely that any of you have gone to the Fade. The Fade itself is a mix of factories, workhouses, and homes, and also where the sunships are docked, and sunships can take you to other suns. So really unlikely that any of you have been there.
So, is this a matter of misalignment or an echo of something or like a fault line?
Maybe something's just trying to come home.
If something is trying to come home from absence, my only concern is that there might already be something there that causes friction.
Well, I'm sure that someone remembers whatever is about to, come here. Can look it up. Look for information. And see what could be coming back.
You're very chill about this.
I was just about to say the same.
Again, this thing sort of speaks to me. I don't know.
Like in the
buzzing in my
actual
chest.
sense? Oh, buzzing. You should see a doctor.
Maybe.
I'm not saying that the buzzing is bad. I'm just saying perhaps some caution is advisable.
I don't know. I've never made great art with caution.
I just don't want it to make great art with you.
Ooh. Me as art.
Oh, you're way too happy about that.
I mean, my body is already the clay that I mold my art with. Again, I understand your concern.
I just don't want you to get, whatever storms do to clay.
Erode?
Yeah,
nothing lasts forever. It's kind of what.
Yeah, but let's try and last the week, yes?
Yeah, do you think this is gonna? I'm sure a week will pass and we'll be fine.
You want to bet?
Ooh.
That was probably Shard.
What you offering?
Shard likes games that he knows he can win.
That's true.
Not that Lace knows this, but he's a hustler.
Yeah. He's my sweet baby who's
He's your
never
sweet
done
baby
anything
boy.
wrong. He's never done anything wrong ever in his entire life.
That hairball the other day, not him. It was Moliere.
Not him.
It was Moliere.
I don't think
That's
people know
certainly
about
what
Moliere yet.
That's
gonna be so
okay. They don't
fucking
need
funny.
to.
Whatever you're thinking about Moliere
Yes,
is correct.
it is
Let me
correct.
just say.
But yeah, I think Ray sort of like looks and just like, I mean, what proof is there that we should like? Yeah, like anyone who like runs a plant store would be upset about a storm, right? You know, like you don't want your plants to like die, but like there's other things that storms bring. I mean, we don't have to be like, you know, super like, oh, everything is terrible because that person, Dressora,
You're muted.
what was her name? Their name?
Yeah, their name is Drosera.
Dressera. That was close. Yeah, Ray was like, I mean, maybe we can even go Dressera. Weatherproof. You know, stuff.
I think that's a great idea. I just think it's a thing to keep an eye on because in the weave, when things appear in times and places where they originally didn't, it can get complicated.
And
Think
also, your
again.
lives are so complicated anyway, Shard says. Some of you, like, mold your flesh. Some of you have weird wavy hair. That's probably really wet.
Shard, be nice.
You break a lot. It's loud.
I mean, yes, but you don't have to, like, bring it up.
And then Aspen is also very loud, but also just loud.
We don't have to say anything. I was happy being the only one who didn't have a criticism.
You're very loud.
Shard has been recently very irritated about how my shattering affects his sleep pattern, which is always.
I need my full 23 hours of sleep a day.
You're in deficit already today.
I
so-
know.
Look, if you weren't afraid to go into the rooms where Seamus hangs out, then you would be able to get much better sleep.
I need to go to sleep soon.
I think it's time to head home.
Yeah, I have a few things I'd like to take care of.
Yeah. Meet up at the same time? Later?
Always.
Okay.
All right. Are there any errands anyone would like to do on their way home before we go into our next scene? Yes.
Do I know if Helia if there is something that she enjoys engaging with?
She likes seeing new things. So if you bring home something new that she's never seen before. I'll let you think about it. And then we'll go to the next scene. First of all, everybody add 1 week of income to your inventory. I don't know what it is for all of y'all, but add that much to your crystal reservoirs. So, this happens sometime throughout the course of the week. And my next card is Mysterious Rune on the Green Sun. Value of 9, Secrets, Ravens, Books, and Flame. Meanings, magic, mystery, wordless communication. Oh, I like this. Words are spells, and spells are words. Runes and code words. They hide them. In plain sight, store them. If you can decipher the rune, you gain its meaning and thus its power. Those who scribe a rune, or even those who hold the book or other object the rune marks, are its masters. The Secrets family holds the mystery of a rune along with all of its hidden meanings. It is not an unknowable truth, but a secret that can be learned, though it's likely a difficult and dangerous one. Red magic is enhanced and blue is hindered. Ray, you're sleeping. It's a nice, solid sleep where you are in REM, getting that good, deep rest and relaxation. But you find yourself in a shadowed room that feels densely packed with something, and it's dark. But you don't feel alone. You feel this cool, slightly, leathery is not the right word, but rough something around you, kind of holding you in like a bed, like a circular bed, just cradling you. And then you hear the songbird. Nice to meet you, semi face to face.
I don't think Ray gets held a lot. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy, you're right.
So like, I think he like curls up a little bit more, like not opening his eyes. He's so tired, and just sort of like snuggles into whatever hold this is, and it's just like, you're here?
I felt a little energized, so I thought I'd say hi. And we can just
Hello.
talk a little more.
Mm,
Our conversations have been pretty brief.
yeah.
But
Sorry.
it's okay. I'm very tired.
Yeah. I'm working to get information for you.
Information to help me?
Yeah. My first friend. My best friend.
Is there anything I can do to help? You can help me and I can help you?
I was going to ask for more older names that, Aspen's friend might have.
I don't remember my name. It's been a very long time since I've heard it.
I wonder if it's something that when you hear, you'll click. Like when you can't remember the notes of a song, but as soon as you hear it play,
You remember it. That's right.
Yeah.
I was also gonna ask if you could teach me some things and I can help you and teach you some things if you want.
What do you want to learn?
That thing you did with the creature. I don't know your creatures.
And I think Ray opens his eyes. And does he see anything?
It's still very dark. It's very shadow, but there is this brief luminescence just kind of in spurts and sporadics, just like randomly before. And you are in almost like a bald cocoon of vines. They have thorns of red and purple. But none of them are around you. You are in an area completely devoid of them, not poking into your skin as you're kind of cradled.
I think Ray sort of like puts his arms out and just reaches a hand and sort of like slides it like down like his wrist up to like the inside of his elbow. And when he does, like he digs his fingers in, and I think in the dream it's slow. Like, he usually does this really quickly. He usually tries not to show anyone because he feels like people could be a little bit skeeved out. But it is like his like fingers sink in with magic and draw like this energy, a light, and then pulls out a creature. Like as his like arm like shrinks and gets like almost like visibly weaker, like emaciated almost. And I think this time it is it's simply just like a small, almost like a minnow, but with two heads and like very pointy teeth. And it sort of like swims around in this darkness, examining. And he's just like, it's all about what you're willing to sacrifice
Okay.
to make a new friend.
That's why I want to learn, because as I am right now, you can't embrace friends with thorns. So I wanted to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I'm happy to teach you.
What can I do to repay a friend back?
I think he sits up and he looks around and he's just like, what do I want? It's a weird question. I've been very happy lately. I have you and I have my friends. But I want to help you. But I also want to be stronger. You know, I haven't really been able to focus on my order. Because I've been focusing on art. But if you know any other names, creatures to make fun deals with, friends to make, I'd love to learn.
You get the sense that it nods. There's shifting, but you get the sense there is a nod. Okay, I'll think on it. And all of a sudden, you are woken up by knocking on your front door.
I think Ray half sleeps in the bog. Like I think he just like I think he has like a certain amount of sink that he gets like in the lower parts of his home. And so he just sort of like sleeps like almost like half submerged, and he just sort of like pushes himself out, and like as he walks through, the furniture in his house is like moving to make space and like almost present him with like a towel that he like like starts to towel down like his torso, and like his drawers clump over, and like he gets out like a robe and goes and ties it as he opens the door and looks out. Hello.
In front of you is someone you know. In front of you is a much shorter than you, but still pretty tall, probably close to like lace height, like 5'9" young individual with dark skin and long box braids with like green in them. And today, their appearance looks like it has been made out of a bunch of tiny multicolored brush strokes to make up their entire being. They are wearing a pencil skirt and a nice blazer with a white button down, which is highlighted in all these vibrant colors to make up what kind of looks like the painting of a person. And this is, I guess you can call him your agent, I think, like Reyna. Good morning. I am sorry to wake you. Looking at the bottom half of you, still like a couple splotches here and there of the bog.
I mean, it's all, I get up when it's time to get up.
Got a couple
How are
minutes? I'm good. Do you have a couple minutes? I wanted to talk to you about your art.
Of course. come in, and Ray sort of stands apart, and like everything in the house stops moving. So there's some weird, like there's a dresser half in the hall, like there's a carpet that has like slinked its way like halfway up towards the door that had like gotten out of Ray's way, so it didn't drip bog, so he didn't drip bog on it. Um, and he like turns and he like gestures inside. Sorry about the mess.
It's fine. I've seen a lot worse. I have worked with many of an artists. Believe it or not, your bog is one of the cleaner, more organized places I've met and been in. I've worked with a lot of makers that have had a lot of mishaps. Magical ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, my art's separate from my order.
Anyway, before I take up too much of your morning, I also talked to a couple other people. You said you wanted to have a gallery soon.
Yes.
How soon? Would you be able to have that ready in like a couple weeks?
I mean, probably. I just need to gather what pieces I want to show. And I think like Ray walks Reyna in a little bit further and sort of like picks up a piece, and he's just like, I've been trying to remember what shadow animals look like. And I think that this one was certainly one. And he shows this like it's probably like around like 10 inches long. And if you guys have ever seen like the worms on a string, it's like a worm on a string, but with like dog legs. I'm pretty sure they called this a fox.
I mean this is a compliment, but it looks like my ex's borzoi.
I mean, I'm pretty sure borzoi was a species of fox.
Close enough.
Yes, it's a little slinky. Came to me in a dream. And from vague memories.
I like this one, personally. I like that one.
I mean, after the gallery, Reyna, I'm sure I can just give you a piece.
If the gallery goes like I'm hoping it's going to go. Anyway, I never explained to you why I'm asking. So I have several clients, you're one of them, but let me start from the beginning. A couple months ago in the Marquis Quarter, the owner of a very well-known art gallery called Inkblot was murdered. It's fine. It was not fine. There was a whole thing about it. Just go look at some archives. But anyway, someone finally bought the Inkblot again, and they're looking to showcase artists, and they're looking around for local artists to showcase their work in Inkblot. So that's what the new owner's looking for. They have contracted me and a couple other agents to show artists, and you are one of a couple that I have recommended.
Seems like a good place to make connections.
Exactly. And as you say that, you get a very loud, like, nonverbal yes from Songbird.
And I think Ray like straightens up to his full height and just sort of like walks over to a cabinet that like Reyna would be very sure was not there. Like it was definitely like a couple feet like the other direction. But like
He's used to it.
How many times? Yeah. And Ray like opens it and it's got like little clay, like slabs of clay that like he has like prepared, and just sort of like grabs one down and is just like, I have a bunch of ideas. They can definitely be fired in time for the show.
So I will pencil in a rough date. I'll give you a little more time to get some more pieces that you might want to show off. And then when we're all ready, I can give the date to the new owner and any of the proprietors and the showcasers. And I can let you know.
Yeah, about how many pieces do you think they'll want? 4, 5?
Probably maybe like 8. Try 8.
I love when you give me a challenge, Reina.
Blow them away.
Ooh. You know, the Shadow Eagle had 7 wings. Very good at blowing stuff away. It was its main way of hunting, where it would find animals on the verge of cliffs, and then boom, and then they'd collect it.
I failed to remember where that 7th wing goes, but I'm sure I'll see it when you fire it.
Yes.
Anyway, I need to get going. I was actually on my way to the market, so I will catch up with you another day. Thank you.
Mm.
Sorry for waking you.
No. Now I have time to work.
And he waves to you and leaves, walking across your bog, just as if it were solid. Easy peasy.
Okay. Ray makes a note of that and just interesting, and then closes the door to get to work.
Okay, perfect. Kian, you said Aspen was gonna look for something that Helia has never seen before and bring it home.
Yes. I would like to stop by somewhere and purchase a radio for her.
Okay.
And I can give you real quick. It says it receives one of 3 Saturnine broadcast stations, and it costs me 5 crystal orbs.
So funny thing about radios and anything that broadcasts via etheric devices, etheric devices such as radios and telephones are also big hotspots for ghosts. So you don't always just get the 3 radio stations.
That is exactly what I want for Helia.
You're able to go home. I'm going to assume it plugs in. I'm just going to assume that the radio plugs into the wall. And Helia does brighten up. And throughout, as I mentioned, as part of one of your downtime tech activities, trying to check in on her, she is mostly despondent, distraught, and shaken. And has gone through the equivalent of what she is kind of crying. And talking about how home is gone. But if you press her on that, she doesn't have an answer for you. She's very confused. But with the radio, being able to listen to the music and the occasional bickering of ghosts or random voices coming through, she does brighten over the course of the rest of this week.
I would absolutely not put that in the dancing room. The dancing room has its own issues. This would probably be in my bedroom, so she has a quiet place to go and listen if she wants. And I would just leave it on 24/7.
Perfect. Did you all decide to reconvene after downtime? Am I remembering correctly? Okay. The day of when you're supposed to reconvene, Sophrona, can you tell me what Sophrona's morning get-up routine is?
Her morning get-up routine. It's actually a lot simpler than it seems because her hair is just like this. It doesn't actually require any real, she takes a little ship. The ship does not actually stay there. It's a whole separate hairpiece. But her hair is just naturally like this in this Gibbons girl style updo. So she spends her morning actually she gets up early because her roommates, Dryden and McCullough, also get up early to go through to tend to this lighthouse that she lives in. She doesn't do the work of upkeeping it, but her two roommates, two ghosts, like to do that, and she gets up with them because it's a very busy affair. So she gets up with them. She eats with them. A very simple meal. She doesn't do any of the dishes. The dinnerware comes in and out. And she just, I think it's just super deceptively simple, I think. Well, actually, the opposite. It's simple for what seems like a deceptively complicated, like, routine. Like, she just gets up, she has a simple meal. I don't think her roommates are super talkative either. It's very quiet. They're not. Besides with the lighthouse, it has like the noises every now and then, so you have to talk like this anyway. So they don't talk a lot. She just gets dressed. She puts her little ship in her hair. I feel like she has like a dozen little ships of like different types.
Love them.
So I think today she'll just choose like a really small one, so it's not distracted, and just put it in there. Take a deep breath. Prepare her spells for the day, for an hour quietly. I think she does that at the dining room table, actually, after everybody has left and everybody is set, and then goes out to the day. She has to she has to row out from her lighthouse in the middle of her lake, and then row out to the shore. That's the most exciting part of her morning routine, because could be the adolescent that's out there.
How do you pronounce it? Is it Iva, Eva?
Iva.
Iva. Okay. You don't see Iva, but as you're about to leave the lighthouse to get into the rowboat to head to your meeting with your friends, next to your front door with a bright yellow shaft and a red handle is a shovel, and I'm giving you a despair.
Fuck.
You can have a despair for that.
The shovel has struck.
Absolutely despair. It's rage at this point.
So you can add a shovel to your inventory until you figure out how to get rid of it.
Just literally throw that into the boat, angrily row to shore. Okay. You could just now imagine this. She literally will just have the shovel across her shoulder now when she shows up. Goddamn.
Where are y'all meeting?
And again, she's tiny. The shovel is probably I don't know.
It's about half your size.
Yeah.
Are we meeting by the dinosaur statues? I feel like we could meet by the dinosaur statues. I really just want to talk about the dinosaur statues. That's mostly what I want.
The dinosaur statues is pretty great.
The frail dinosaur statue located in the tundra, which has since been cleared of all the festival activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever's there, if anyone else is there before Sophrona gets there, Sophrona shows up with a random fucking shovel.
I
Greg
think
knows that shovel.
Lace takes, with permission, holds out her hands for Sophrona's hands and says, "I'm so sorry."
Sophona's not going to touch you because of the shocked thing. She'll just...
It's just like an aborted, sorry.
It's gonna happen to all of us eventually.
Yeah. Helia
Last time I had it, I put it into Minnie's cart. So I feel like it might have been Minnie who passed it along this time.
The shovel comes for us all in the end.
I hate that shovel.
So if I ever need to give a random despair to someone, I'm just gonna give you the shovel.
I think that this is the thing from our world building that is by far going to screw us over the most in the long term. it could just endlessly ruin our lives. That's
None of y'all even know what it does. It's just you need to get rid of it.
it's the curse of the shovel.
Have I tried to put it in my bog yet? What if
Didn't
that
it-
freezes all?
I thought Bruce did. Maybe I'm wrong.
If he did, who knows if one of his weird suitors didn't go in and
Yeah,
grab
maybe
it.
you're right. It was probably one of them.
Like, oh, Bruce touched this. So weird. So awful.
So weird.
Shard pipes
Not
up.
Bruce.
They
Bruce is
need to
perfect.
they need to like do some self-reflection. All of them.
I mean,
And take a hint. And take a hint.
take a hint for sure. They do not.
No.
Poor Bruce.
I feel so bad for Bruce.
I need to actually check what spells I actually did prep. Hold on.
If you're tuning in today and you don't know who Bruce is our whale shark man friend, who doesn't know how to say no to people. However, is the subject of many romantic entanglements.
It's not even an entanglement. It's just like he has got a lot of suitors and people just
It's
and
it's
it's not
kinda
like
like any
a whale man
Regency
friend. He's just a
story.
whale shark.
It's kind of
There we
like
go,
any
yeah.
Regency story where the person who's just become a debutante is like being like overcome by suitors and just swarmed, and you're just like, oh, leave them alone. Just let them live their life.
Yeah, I think Ray is like once we settle the shovel, Ray is sort of like hopping a little and it's like, I'm going to be featured in a gallery.
Oh,
How exciting.
Yes.
When is it? Where will it be? What should we wear?
We only have a prospective date in around 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
It is at the Ink Blot.
No, it's at your house.
It's at my house.
Raina said that they want to find someone to show more professionally at the ink blot. But they're doing smaller showings in smaller studios or smaller galleries before bringing it to the ink blot.
I'm going to have an art show at my home to try and get featured in a gallery.
are you? Oh, what? Aspen has a really good point though. What should we wear?
Waterproof shoes and honestly probably rain boots and then your nicest tops.
Is there a theme? Should we dress to match?
Animals of shadow as I remember them.
Shard is on my shoulder, just being like, what am I?
Shard is happy being Shard.
You're a cat. I know how to mold a cat. Yeah, sure.
Prettiest cat?
Out of all the cats I've met, yes.
Okay.
Actually,
He was starting to give you
That's
a real
weird.
big side eye.
yeah, that's weird. I've never seen a prettier cat than you.
That's right.
Huh.
Objectively correct.
Name the little statue you've given to me last week, by the way. Little giraffe.
Ooh, what'd you name it?
Odalise.
One more time.
Odalise.
Odalise.
Dallas, for short.
That's a great one.
That's
a great one.
lovely.
Yes.
I also. Oh, that reminds me. I have presents for everybody. Is this a good time to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
So, because Shard was so kind to split his tic-tac-toe winnings with me last week, I decided to use it to make us all something nice in the spirit of Ray's gift giving. And Lace carefully takes out little, I guess they're pouches, that she handles fairly gingerly and hands one to each of you. They're about this big, and what is in them is clearly fragile but fairly thin. Each of you open them at some point, I assume. And they are each like a little stained glass landscape. Sophrona's is whatever Lace thinks is your favorite ship, but it's on the ocean, like a calm ocean. Aspen's is your neighborhood, but there's like a little capybara shape peeking out from behind one of the pillars. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you have a lot of like pillars and
The false
like
arch.
false arch. Yeah, maybe it's the false arch, and Osmond is just like, hi. She doesn't know about the giant sunflower friend, so the giant sunflower friend it does not feature. And Ray, yours is her favorite of your animal inventions or recurrences, which is I think, well, unless you would like to posit one, I don't want to put animals in your disgorged body.
Knowing Lace, I think Ray has created like a little like a horned shark.
Horned shark.
Yeah, horned shark that had like dragonfly style wings and like goat horns.
Yes.
And just zoomed around and headbutt people.
That's exactly what it is. And it looks like majestic. And these wings are like dichroic almost and gorgeous. So they're little like suncatchery type stained glass things.
Just to mention, since Osmond was mentioned, Osmond decided to stay home today and take a big nap in the sunroom.
Yes.
Helia is here.
Okay.
And she's looking around at everyone's stained glass. Sorry, Victor.
Oh no, I think Ray takes it out as just very careful and just sort of peering at it and just like, this is such a good rendition. I love this.
I know you loved the horns, and the wings were so good.
Yes. If I could make it bigger, it'd be even better. But we'll get there.
We'll get there. It's a work in progress.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a little bit intense on the body.
Of course.
That's why I work out every day. That's a lie.
Yes.
I lied to you. I don't.
While y'all are looking at your little trinkets from Lace, Helia bends down slightly, Aspen, to whisper in your ear, "What's going on today?"
I'm going to sort of, I assume that there's a way to hang this, or is it just the piece of glass from Lace?
Oh, yes, there is, I would think, like a little, like one of those little circle things that you can hook something into and put it on.
Okay. So I'm kind of holding it by the edge and like holding it up to the light, and I turn away from the rest of the group and say, I'm not quite sure, but I think we might be trying to find a little bit more out about the storm, and I don't want it to upset you, darling. If
I'm doing better. It's okay.
Okay, if you need to go home, go home.
No, I want to be nosy.
It's one of my favorite qualities about you. We might need to speak a little bit more today. I might need to ask you a few things, but maybe we'll be going on a bit of an adventure.
Okay.
And I will still hold it up and kind of just turn so that if Helia wants to take a glance over my shoulder, she's able to, if she wants to observe. Lace, this is absolutely lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very charming. Very charming. All right.
Shard is stretching on your shoulders. Where are we going today?
I don't know if we could do this, but I would like to ask. I would like to go to, what is it called again?
Botanical Spiral?
Yes, the botanical spiral to talk to Alana for a brief bit.
Okay. Does everyone else also want to go? I'm assuming this is a group party.
Yes.
Oh, Ray's gonna tell them about the murder that happened in the meantime, because Ray wants to gossip.
Murder?
Hold on, let me do a quick think. Aspen, you might know about this.
Yes.
You might know about this. Okay. So, because you've been trying to sneak your way into high society in the Marquis Quarter. Okay. Once you start mentioning this, Ray, Aspen has the hot goss. Okay, so this also can be watched in my last campaign of Invisible Sun that I ran over on Frontier Roll Dice, The Soul's Confidant. But what happened at Inkblot a couple months ago was there was a showing for this really well-known popular artist. And what happened was at some point during the night, a weaver made of fire that was super angry kissed the owner of the Inkblot, and he disintegrated into dust. And shortly after that, like moments afterwards, a freaking demon appeared out of nowhere. An angel was ready to throw hands, and chaos. And it was chaos. And yeah, so that's how the owner of the Inkblot died.
I think when you say this to Ray, because I'm assuming this is Aspen displaying the hot goss, Ray is suddenly like, ooh.
I will say though that later on, after this, several weeks, maybe several weeks to a month or two later though, the owner of the Inkblot was determined to be the leader of the Kalmara Sodality, which is this, if you know anything about the art world, they like to police what is and is not art.
Grody.
Yeah, it was real fucking grody. He's an asshole. Honestly, out of character, good. He deserved to die. He was terrible, man. He will never exist anywhere because they also... Wait, that would be spoilers for the campaign. Just go watch the campaign.
I think Lace is just sitting there, biting her lips.
Neat. Ooh, so that means if I get into the gallery, we'll all be able to go to the Marquis Quarter.
It is quite worth it, I will say. I've only been once, and it was not exactly sanctioned, but they do know how to throw a party there.
Anyone can go to the Marquis Quarter. Whether you can get into the parties at the Marquis Quarter is another story.
Yeah, Ray is just assuming that you did something wildly fun but illegal.
Is that where I would have taken Osmond from?
Yes.
Yes. They do know how to throw a party, and I can say for certain that they happen to have some very interesting creatures and pets that they like to keep around. Excellent ones that need to be rehomed regularly. We should definitely go.
Okay. I mean, we could poster before my art showing in my home in the Marquee Gallery. See if we can get some wealthy patrons. I don't know. Is money important? I have enough.
Well, what the benefit is that they can help you expand your gallery, perhaps have some more space to create art.
I mean, it's clay. If it doesn't work, I break it and I remake it. You know, I don't really need space.
They are quite the rich tend to be quite the characters. They could provide some inspiration.
Ooh, like that.
We'll try to get that done before your art show.
Yeah, and then Ray looks at Sophrona, and you can like shock the mean ones if you want to.
Oh, I'll just text anybody that you don't like. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Every 30 minutes.
Once every 30 minutes. That's 2 people an hour. That's a lot, actually.
Yeah.
We're just over there, like, okay, go.
Running this like a dance card.
As you're talking about shocking people and trying to get into the Marquee Quarter or getting more patrons for Ray, you eventually arrive at the Botanical Spiral, which I will describe when we come back from break, everybody. We will be back in like 5 to 10 minutes. Everybody, please stretch, get up, pet your pets, take a walk, get a drink, hydrate. We'll be back soon. Bye.
All right.
Hello, everybody. We are back from break. I hope everyone had a nice stretch and hydration moment. We last left off with our party going to a plant shop at Sophrona's suggestion. So I guess technically 5.5 of you, 5 people, 4 of you, and then like Healy is a half and Shard is also a half. It's so 5 of you walk up to this place called Botanical Spiral Plant Shop and Nursery. It is a building made entirely out of glass, so it is a greenhouse of sorts with a wooden sign that just says Botanical Spiral on the top. From the outside, the front half it doesn't obscure the interior. You see a lot of condensation on the windows. You see greenery, a bunch of other colors of flowers. You see vague shapes, at least one of some person walking around in there. And then the back half seems to just be a solid mass of green. So you cannot see the back half from the outside. But, Sophrona, you're very familiar with this place. How often do you come here?
Some weeks is more common more often than others. It's like very mood, but I would say maybe if you average them all out, like once a week.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like 0, but some other weeks it's like 3. So, a lot actually. At least on average once a week.
Sorry, and before I forget, I have pulled the next card on the blue sun. I have called the Endless Woods. Mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. We don't have any Stokes in the party. Meaning sounds, nature, mysteries, the dark side of the forces of life. The cards frickin' know. The woods and the wilderness are untamed and unsafe. Travel through them is perilous. We hear things all around us that we cannot see. Trees and undergrowth conceal dangers and, perhaps, wonders. The Endless Woods is a location card of the Mysteries family, and rightfully so, for it is the very home to the unknown and perhaps unknowable. Green magic is enhanced and pale is hindered. If I interrupted anyone, I apologize. But the 4 of you find yourself at the outside of Botanical Spiral. There's a lot of plants.
Do I immediately see Alana anywhere?
You can tell that she's inside. You don't see her because the interior of the glass of the greenhouse has a lot of condensation, but she has a very notable large head of blue hair that you can see moving on around in the interior. So she's working today.
Okay. Well, I will say to the rest of the group, Drosera is not usually here, but Alana's here, and I think that we can get maybe some information. So this is literally just want to say like stay cool, but it's like I will casually approach Alana. Friendly. Hi.
As the four of you walk in, you see a very tall, willowy, slender Southeast Asian woman with long navy blue hair. Like, when I say long, it is braided, multiple braids pinned up in a way that it's not going to get in the way of her work type of braided. And you can swear, like, if you're looking away for 2 minutes and then you turn back to her, you could swear it's already starting to grow out and be longer. She is wearing a thick apron and heavy gardening gloves. And as you enter and the little bell goes off in botanical spiral, she looks up from her hands in a pile of fire lilies and looks up and sees you, Sophrona. She's like, "Oh, hi Sophrona," and there's surprise on her face and friends. Hi. I'm Alana.
These are my friends. I think they'd prefer to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Ray, and this is very pretty.
Thank you.
My name is Lace, and I love your hair.
Likewise, it's very pretty.
Thank you.
My name is Aspen, and it's lovely to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you. Sophrona, I was not expecting you today. It's nice to see you and your friends.
And this is Shard.
Hello, Shard. And she, like, does a little wave, and he's looking at her. He's like, I smell another cat. In your ear, Lace.
It's okay.
And on the inside, you see a bunch of raised beds, walls, and plants growing all over the walls and trellises. And towards the back, like the middle, but it's actually the back, you see a large table with a cash register and a solid wall of green with a single opening, as if you were to walk into like a hedge, like in between two hedges, like a hedge maze. I can dry. What can I do for you today?
I'm actually investigating a little mystery, actually. I don't know if you saw the storm that was there last week. It was only for an hour, so I wouldn't blame you if you've missed it. It was real quick. But do you know if Drosera is in at all, or?
I'm gonna pull a card to see if Drosera is in, y'all. On the Indigo Sun, I have pulled the Elusive Sleep. Value 6, Vision, Swans, Blades, and Water, Futility, Worry, Stress, and Awareness. Blue magic is enhanced, red is hindered. The richest noble cannot buy sleep, the strongest among us cannot compel its submission. Even the wisest person must lose a night's rest to anxiety. Still, when we're awake, we are aware, and that awareness can be crucial. Alana considers your question. I actually haven't seen them in a while. I don't know if they're in or not.
Strangely, I'm not surprised.
They tend to be in and out as they please. I mostly handle the front and the occasional part-timer.
I've at the festival I'd spoken to a seer diviner, and I've been investigating this storm. It's Lace here has determined that it's from from the abstraction. Hundreds of years ago. And when I saw the diviner to ask about the storm, I saw Dracera there in the midst of a wilting jungle. And I don't know if, I was just wondering if you knew anything about if you knew anything that could help investigate where this storm is, because I don't like the vibe, if that makes sense.
Before I answer that, Ray, when you enter this beautiful planet shop, the songbird gets excited. Lots of friends here. And Aspen Helia is looking around in excitement, looking at everything. Like looking at all of these beautiful flowers, staring at Alana's hands where she's holding these literal burning fire lilies, before walking off to a corner, which you're pretty sure those are faces growing on a vine. Partially grown. Just don't look too hard. And back to Alana. I could try, but do you have a clipping or a description? Because I know a fair share about plants, especially the ones here or the ones in shadow, but Dracera is the most knowledgeable out of all of us. They might be in, but I don't feel comfortable going back there and leaving the front part of the store unattended.
No, of course. I wouldn't want to make you uncomfortable or anything. I will try to describe the tree that I had seen in my vision as best as possible, specifically the tree that I saw. I think Lace had also drawn it earlier because we were describing what it was, so I think it's like, if Lace wants to I'm not going to decide for you if you're going to do that. But
no, I offered. Yeah, I offered to do it for everybody.
Sifrona will also just re-describe it in addition to whatever drawing it is.
Alana looks at it, and I'm going to roll this into the card, and also she just wouldn't know, so I'm not going to bother pulling another card for this, and she looks at it. Do you have a copy that I can have and hold on to?
I mean, sure. I guess I can give her this copy. Or can I magically I'm magic.
You're magic.
Can I photocopy using infinity
and
freedom from the restraints of books?
But what are your qualities that you're going to pull from freedom and infinity?
I would love to tell you those qualities that I am pulling from. It's in the other book, which is why I have to find the tab that has that book in it. My apologies. There are many books.
While you're looking that up, I will say Sifrona's going to attempt to buy something for small plant for
negligible price.
For trouble. Yeah.
Are you getting anything specific?
I'll think about it.
Okay. As Lace is going through and trying to weave magic, Alana is checking you out at the front, and kind of under her breath, so no one else can hear. It's nice to see you a little more lively than you normally are when you're here.
It's always good to see you as well. Not always.
I hope this little piece of greenery brightens up your home.
I have a pitch for you.
Pitch it.
Can I do double movement and move it while also retaining it?
Yes, I can say you can do that.
I feel like the symmetry is what is appropriate.
Okay. I'm gonna say that in order to make this, you will need to spend 3.
Oh, do I? Oh, I guess time has passed, right?
Time has
So I would
passed.
have my
Everything
sorcerer.
has. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
4. Create a permanent item that can be held in one hand.
Okay, I'll spend 4.
And you are able
What
to.
sorcery? Oh, do I have to roll for it, or
No,
does it just
you do
happen?
not. You're not rolling against anything, so you don't need to like beat a challenge. So you can just make it.
Okay.
So you are able to create a duplicate of this paper. While you are also creating this duplicate, Shard has jumped off of your shoulder and is sniffing around near behind the counter, being very nosy and like looking in the back, but not going in. He's just doing a little sniffy.
Shard has never done anything wrong ever in his entire life, so I will just be like, "Be careful, Shard." Sorry. I'll say sorry to my new friend. He's very curious.
Just be careful. I would suggest not going back there. It gets very confusing very fast if you don't know where you're going. I would suggest not, unless you get lost.
Shard, probably best stay here. Do you smell anything good?
A lot of flowers.
That makes a lot of sense.
Achoo!
Oh no. You have allergies.
Ray and Aspen.
I have questions. So, like all these descriptions, are they reminiscent of the thorns I saw in my dreams?
Yes.
Okay.
The ones in the book for that lace and Sophrona we're talking about, yes.
Yeah, perfect. I think Ray sort of like wanders over to where the transaction is happening. Is like, I have a plant question.
I can do my best to answer it for you, sure.
Can you teach plants magic?
Yes, I see no reason why not. Drosera themselves is magical. They are a plant in of themselves. They know a lot of magic. And in the Topiary district, there have been plenty of people over there who have shaped hedges that have become sentient. And I know some folks over there have learned magic.
Well, what if I have a plant who like wants to learn a specific ability of mine?
Well, anything can happen in the actuality if they have the capacity for magic and are able to cast spells of a sort. I'm sure it's possible in some way.
Well, the thing is, I don't actually know exactly why I can do the ability they want to learn.
Oh. So it's just kind of like one of those things, that happens. And like she'll hold up a hand and like it breaks like glass and then it reforms. Something like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
There are some. It's not impossible, though, for your specific type of innate magical abilities. I don't know if I could help, but I know it's a possibility. I know plenty of people who have learned to turn their nightmares into weapons as a teachable ability, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think he steps back thinking about it.
Maybe see if they can just try and copy it at first. I'm sure that a spell equivalent exists. Or could be created. This layer making spells all the time.
Mhm.
Aspen, what are you doing while this is all going on?
I will walk over as well. Well, first, is Helia still at these face vine things?
She has since moved away. As she's looking
Okay.
around. She kind of followed Shard for a bit and was looking behind there. Like,
Okay.
looking in there. And now she's just kind of like looking, staring.
Then I will walk over, and I also have a question. You mentioned Drosara is a plant themselves.
Many plants?
And you said they might be in the back, correct?
Yes.
I mean, we could man the front for you, or I'm happy to take a risk and go back. I would love to speak with them.
I need you to roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Are you using any interaction, Benay, and do you have any skills?
The only skill that might be relevant is lying, but I don't think that I am trying to lie to her.
You're not lying. Are you using an interaction?
I absolutely will.
Are you going to use any hidden knowledge or any sortilege?
Can you remind me how hidden knowledge works?
Hidden knowledge is a limited resource that everyone starts off with a certain amount with. And it's essentially a free bene that you can add based off of miscellaneous bits of knowledge that you can pull out of your ass. Like, for example, if you're trying to pick a lock, you're like, oh, I know this lock, it's ticklish on the side. This specific lock is ticklish on the side. Hence, it'll give me a bonus or something along those lines. It can be anything that you want that will give you an edge into your...
I absolutely am going to use a hidden knowledge.
You have to tell me what it is, and then sortilege is you pulling at the raw magic and trying to use that and that'll give you an extra die to roll for a chance of success.
I'll just stick with the hidden knowledge. And I, at one point, while hanging out with William, who I have a connection with, have been part of the transaction process. And so I understand how to work a cash register. The equivalent of a cash register.
So you're trying to convince her to let you stay up front.
Yes, I'm trying to use my skills to impress her, to make her feel more comfortable about the fact that we can man the front.
Okay.
I can totally make change.
I am extremely good at math.
That was a 9.
On the die?
Yes.
She looks a little nervous, back and forth, like to the back, to you, and then like to Sophrona and everyone else, because y'all have been like, this is like an important thing to y'all that you really want to like talk to Drosara about. And they're like, okay, on the you can't help people with plants though, okay? Maybe Sophrona can help, but like don't try to like give anyone any advice unless you're really good with plants anyway, but like some of these are really odd. Just transactions, okay?
Yes.
You have my word.
Okay. She takes off her gardening gloves, she takes off her apron and like rolls up her sleeves a little bit, and then like goes and puts her hands like in between some of these vines of this back wall and pulls out a very large sword, almost as tall as she is. This woman's like 6 feet tall. I'll try and be back as soon as I can. Are you all okay?
I think we're fine. More worried about you, but
Do
Ray,
you need help?
Ray, was it? Are you okay?
Ray is incredibly flustered. Ray's incredibly flustered. I don't think he was expecting this, but he doesn't know how to respond. And oh, we'll make sure that the shop is fine before you come back. Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best at this type of thing. Absolute best. Mm-hmm.
Saffron is definitely considering like just touching you for a little shock, but she's not going to do that. She's considering it, and then she decides against it. Okay, like.
Okay, but what if
he's
he
trying
did?
not to be weird? He's trying so hard not to be weird. You can tell, but he's just like, wow.
Women with swords, y'all.
Yeah.
I'll try and be back as soon as possible. And then, like, she kind of pulls a single, like, thread of hair and just, like, ties it to a vine and just begins walking in the back. And that little thread stays there and stays taut as she keeps walking and walking. And eventually she turns and veers left and you can no longer see her.
As soon as we can't see her, it's wow.
Dial it back a bit. Just
yes. Sorry. No, they're very impressive. That's very cool. I'm not trying to be. I'm gonna shut up now.
A little intense.
Listen. Swords.
Yeah.
Swords. That's all I got.
While Alana is gone, I would like to wander over to Helia.
She kind of is like, she's like, has watched Alana go around the corner. So you're like standing at the entrance.
Curious?
She nods.
Hmm.
How loud are you when you talk to Helia?
Pretty quiet. I'm trying to stay quiet. My forte ability is allowed to go anywhere within far range as long as Helia does not have to bypass any barriers.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out. I can
The
try to remember
doors-
how long far is, because I hate these distances. I think it's like 100 feet or something.
Okay. You're welcome to follow as far as you would like to go. Just try to keep your path.
I think I might. Do you need to spend any bene to have her do that, or is it at no cost?
Ugh. It just says level 1 color indigo. But I don't see a cost that I copied over.
Okay. So if it doesn't say no cost, it'll cost 1 bene.
Okay, I'll do that.
We can check later to confirm. She begins at a trot walking and is quickly out of sight as she veers to the left. It's about 100 feet, so it doesn't take super long for her to come back. Actually, I never gave her a level. What level is the spell? Is it 1?
Yes.
She doesn't come back.
Oh, shit.
So you're waiting. She doesn't come back.
Oh, shit.
So you're waiting like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I'm going to turn to the rest of the group. It kind of seems like Alana's been gone for a bit. Should we maybe go in after her?
The back is very deep, as I understand it, so...
If it's deep and dangerous, I could make something to go talk with her, but it probably wouldn't last long.
Like, would I know how long it takes to come to and from the back since I've been here often or not?
It varies.
Very often?
It really varies. Yeah.
So it's like I'm just not worried at all.
Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 30.
I'm chill about this. It's like
Leis will volunteer, I think, to go if no one wants to go, but she does think that we should wait a few more minutes because
it's not very wise to go back there, I don't think. Yeah, like it's unless you want to stick to it.
Has Helia ever not returned?
You also have left the meets, Kian.
Yes. There is a wild, unexpected storm happening right now, so it is trying to reconnect.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Oh, dang it.
Is there anybody else in the store, or is it just us?
It's just you right now.
Okay.
Shard pipes up. If you're gonna go out there, maybe lock the front door.
yeah.
Hold on, let me reference my NPC sheet about this.
Ooh. Mayor,
Yes.
I have an idea.
You have an idea? Tell me about the
Yeah.
idea.
I want to summon a thing.
I knew you were gonna go for the summoning. That's why I'm looking for my goetic handout. So you take 10 minutes to start drawing a circle on the floor, or are you gonna? Oh God, I was gonna say raw dog summon it.
No, we can't. We can't unlock that door.
I hate
I don't think and correct me if I can't do this, but I think it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
If Ray takes off his shirt and starts drawing a summoning circle on his body.
That's lovely and gross, and I love it. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to mess up the store. You know.
Start drawing on chalk on the ground.
Yeah, no. When he just has red clay that looks like upsettingly like dried blood. So he starts drawing on himself.
Yeah, you start to draw your summoning circle on your body. Lace and Aspen and Sophrona. Well, maybe Aspen's having a crisis right now, but Lace and Sophrona, Ray starts drawing like there's a summoning circle on their chest.
It's okay. That seems extreme, but I mean,
Sophrona will explain, the shop, it's very bad to wander out of the main area. It's complicated, very deep. It's lost. Things, again, she's not good at wordsing, so it's just a lot of,
Well, would you prefer that Ray summon something?
I mean, it's better than you going back there and getting lost.
Is it?
Just a contract. As soon as it's done, it'll go away.
It's just a contract.
Yeah.
It is to a goetic. It is just a contract.
I know. I know this, but Lace is concerned that one day Ray is going to sign a contract and not look at the terms and conditions. It's really.
I feel like that's what he already does.
I know.
They don't know
yet.
I know.
Lace doesn't know that.
But just the vibes, though, I feel like they just already know.
Oh, yeah. How's Aspen doing with all of Sophrona's terrible, things will die. Things will
get
die
lost all the time.
She's like, there's dangerous stuff back there. I don't know if, it's the first time you've been here. I don't know if you should go wandering into the back. There's, things and,
I deeply appreciate your concern. And there is something very important to me back there, and I need to go find it. And I would like to... I have an ephemera called The Anguished Soul Leaves Traces. That would let me leave visible black footprints wherever I go until the next sun sets.
You can use that.
I would like to. And I'm going to walk in.
No, you're the one who knows how the register works. I mean,
This is what
Savannah
we're
does
concerned
not
about
hope
the
no
register.
customers show up.
Ray, this one happens while you're still, because I can't remember, I feel it, but I feel like it takes like at least 5 to 10 minutes to draw the circle. What are you doing as Aspen yeets?
I was gonna send like a spy, but I guess we're gonna try and like convince whatever I pull to guard. Yeah.
Aspen's gone.
I think.
But, sorry, continue, go ahead.
Sorry, I think Ray is gonna be trying to draw and follow Aspen.
Okay, so we're gonna do a walk. This is the first time anyone has tried to do like a summon on the go, and it's so funny.
Savannah doesn't want to go past the hedge because it's like she's gonna be standing there like yelling, like increasingly. Like it's.
I really feel like should we just let them go in? I mean, we're letting them go in, but should they go in alone?
They should not go in alone. People should not.
I can leave. Do you want me to go and I can leave Shard with you? Shard is a very good business cat.
Ray, did you go? Are you following Aspen? Okay, so Ray and Aspen are gone.
Ray and Aspen are gone.
Yeah. Do you want to come, or do you want me to leave Shard with you?
I am really good with money.
He is really good with money.
I can handle any transactions while you're gone, and probably get Alana a very nice commission bonus.
It's true.
Just don't give anybody advice about plants.
Oh, I
She said
won't.
not to, okay.
I will say the fire lilies are hot though.
They
That's
are
just-
very literally.
That's logic. Yeah.
Very upset. She's gonna go.
Okay.
She's gonna go.
Fair.
If Lace is going to, she will also go.
I just feel that we should not allow them to go by themselves.
No, they shouldn't. She will yell after them again, like while walking. Stick to the path.
So while I'll describe what is you all see, and then we'll get to Ray's summoning. So Aspen, as you begin to walk down this veering path of greenery and hedges, it's very dark and it gets darker. And you just feel these walls, actually all of you feel this, all of you feel these walls just pressing upon you with the sense of just like pine, of leaves, of sap. And the deeper and deeper you go, the thicker it gets, a little narrow. It also gets a little narrower as you are walking, and you begin to see other plants that are not as safe. So stuff like nightshade and poisons and stuff and the like. That's not the most dangerous part, though, as the four of you are walking, because if you ever look back at any point, you see not one path, but many as they branch back. So you walk in, but if you turn around, there's more paths behind you. And if it weren't for the footprints that Aspen were making on the ground, you would be lost. Not able to tell how to get back. Ray, you're summoning.
Yeah, Ray doesn't look back at all because he's focused on like not fucking up as he's drawing on his like broad it's not on his chest, it's on his belly. Because Ray thinks with his tummy.
Beautiful.
Gut instincts, baby.
So what are you summoning and what level?
Ooh, I am summoning a demon because I think Ray finds demons much more fun than angels.
Fair.
And it is let's see. I feel like Aspen is like much much more physically weak than Ray is. I feel like Ray is very sure that Aspen, like, if they got punched, would die. So it is a guard. It is a guard demon. I'd probably say it's a hellhound.
I was gonna actually say something a little different, if that's okay.
Ooh, yeah, please.
Because it needs to be big enough to fit on your stomach to be within the summoning circle. So, what I think it appears as is a mass of like razor black feathers.
Yes. Love it.
And as the feathers,
That's
what? Go ahead.
much more intimidating than the poodle that I was envisioning.
And you hear as these feathers rub against each other, and it's a very metallic sound with that as they like brush against each other. You hear summoner. I'm not going to do that the entire time, but that's the vibe we're going for.
Yeah. Gotcha. And Ray is like, why, hello there.
What do you want?
I have a very weak friend who is walking in front of me into danger, despite everyone's best efforts for no discernible reason. So I would like protection for him.
What level?
Oh,
demon
I
was
think
this?
we're gonna go ham. We're gonna do a level 3.
Okay. The feathers kind of like turn and like rush around and like look forward at like up. I guess if it's on your stomach, they're looking up towards Aspen in the direction you're walking. Okay. Make your first persuasion roll, because this sounds like persuasion.
Yeah.
Are you using any interaction, Bene?
I know I'm not supposed to look before I decide that, but I've already rolled and I rolled an 8. So
Okay.
no.
Okay. Okay. Well, for free though?
Oh, never. And I think Ray pulls out a clay figurine. But this one has had like orbs stuck inside of it, like 2 like crystal eyes.
Like money orbs?
Yeah, like money orbs.
Okay.
Yeah. And like 2 crystal eyes, and then like almost like 8 more dotting that. So it's got 10 crystal orbs in it, and it actually it looks like a really fucked up raven. Like, what if a raven had like 2 beaks on each side, and like instead of 2 talons, it had like human arm as
Love
a leg,
it.
like
Love
one
it.
human arm. Yeah. and it's just like, I can offer you this. I made it.
Roll
And it
me
has
another
money in it.
persuasion roll. Yes or no
Okay.
to the interaction, Bene.
All right. I am gonna use an interaction, Bene.
Okay.
Because that is a 6, so that would make it a 7, right?
Yep, that passes.
Okay.
How long do you need to do this? Do I have to? Because this is honestly the most boring job I've ever been on for a summoner has summoned me for. Why can't Goetic summon me to like kill people? This is boring.
I mean, like, if something attacks Aspen, I probably expect you to kill it.
Yeah, but like, you're just like, what? Is there just gonna be a plant?
I mean, these are dangerous plants.
Very dangerous.
An extra orb.
And Ray produces 1 more orb.
Roll me 1 last persuasion check. Are you using an interaction, Bene?
I'm not going to use an interaction, Bene.
Okay.
Very demanding.
No,
What
that's
happened?
lost.
You
I
lost the
rolled off
D10.
my desk.
Goodbye, little
It's-
D10. You will be missed.
Gone
Well, it's
forever.
it's basically a caltrip, so I have to go get that. A 5?
So
Okay.
it's so when you're summoning, unless it's modifying circumstances and stuff. You need to beat the level of the creature. So they were 3s.
Oh, cool.
They were level 3s. Fine. And this demon is a mass of feathers, and it wraps around this really fucked up looking raven sculpture that you have with all the orbs and the extra orb, and it just kind of like disappears into a mass of feathers before it flies off of you. And then Aspen, you are in a whirlwind of feathers. You're muted.
You're welcome.
What is can I still see the path?
Oh yeah, you can see it. It's like around your torso. It's not blocking you. Shut up, I'm protecting you.
Is this going to kill me, Ray?
Shut up, I'm protecting you.
No, it's protecting you.
Can I hear the demon speaking to me?
You can hear it.
Oh dear. Okay, more friends. Well, thank you. And I'm going to like awkwardly pat.
Don't touch me.
Okay. And I'm going to continue on with a mass of feathers around my belly.
Lace and Sophrona, you do eventually catch up at some point because you were a little behind trying to figure out what the hell you were doing. To hear this metal on metal feather wind moving, to see Ray finish his summoning.
Well, that is startling.
You look so sad.
She was very like, oh.
I'm sorry. We were just coming on a nice trip to the plant shop, and now...
Why did you guys come? I thought you were watching the store.
It's okay, Shard is handling it.
We can't just let you, we can't just let you wander in around. You've never been.
I'm super strong.
Yep, you certainly are. Did you find anything?
Yeah, Aspen, why are we here?
Aspen is continuing on. Does not answer. I can feel the face you're making. I did not ask you to come with me.
We did not ask you to go in here.
This was of my own volition. I have something very important that I need to recover. As Aspen is walking as fast as they can.
I want, because I think it will be interesting, I have an ephemera, which is, you will know us by the trail of blood.
I love the names of the fucking ephemera objects and incantations. What does this do?
All nearby enchanted objects ooze a little blood. So as we go, I want to know if there are enchanted objects back here. I'm trying to work out what we're doing here, right? Like,
2 of Aspen's items start bleeding as a maker. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, but they start bleeding.
Sure. I imagine Lace knows that Aspen can do that, so.
I'll say if anyone has any other objects on them, like ephemera objects, they bleed. But the general idea of, as you're walking, you do see miscellaneous things embedded in the walls of this hedge that are just pressing closer and closer upon you. Or at least that's the way it feels. It feels like you're being watched, that this is something sentient, just keeping an eye on you as you wander deeper and deeper. Occasionally you do see blood on the ground, whether it's from your incantation or not, it's hard to say. There's a lot of pruning tools and gardening tools stuck and within vines. How long do you keep walking?
I would keep going until if it's been a while, are we still following the thread of hair from Alana?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the hair and shake it.
Okay.
See if I hear anything. Not like super hard, but like plucking a thread, but I'm gonna hold on to it and see if I hear anything.
You feel it's still taut. So it's still attached. You don't hear anything, so they're probably still very far ahead. I'm going to pull the next card as we go into a further scene. On the Gray Sun, I have pulled the Inevitable Cataclysm. Value 4. Visions, swans, blades, and water. Meanings bad luck, endings, inevitability, breaking a relationship. While we fear the cataclysm, it is inevitable. We cannot prevent it. The end comes for all things eventually, and we cannot stop it. The earth quakes, the seas advance, the sky falls. Fire engulfs everything. We can try to survive it, but that's likely the best we can hope for. An optimist might try to say that the cataclysm can be cleansing and change things for the better. But the inevitable cataclysm really isn't about that. It's about endings. Gold magic is enhanced and silver is hindered. So, what happens as the four of you walk and you are tugging on the hair, Aspen? It suddenly goes a little limp in your hands. And all of you begin to hear the loud crunching and moving of vines and plants and bark breaking. And around the corner, you see Alana booking it with this very tall creature, like partially leaned on her shoulder, made out of a bunch of carnivorous plants. They look, it's hard to tell because plants and human body language are not the same, but one arm has been ripped off. So it's just like jagged vines. And they're running. They seem a little dazed and injured. And behind them, the hedges are closing and closing fast.
Yeah, no, Saffrona's just gonna book it in the eye. Like, she's not gonna wait for the rest of them. She's been here often enough. Just fucking.
And right behind Dracera and Alana is Helia. Yes, Lace. We're about to go into an action scene, so...
I was gonna say, can I weave? I wanna.
You can do it on your action scene.
Okay.
We're gonna go.
I figured. I was just trying to get it in early.
This is a result of new card pulls are pulled when you meet new NPCs or a change of scenery. This just so happened to be the card I pulled, so I love it. I love this card. Listen, I did some real fun shit with this card in another game. But anyway, we're entering an action scene which is similar to combat or any other type of time-sensitive thing that needs to be done within rounds. So everybody, I need everyone to roll me a movement, like initiative check, which will just be a movement-based task. You can use movement from your, Bene from your movement pool. Ray is a 4. What else does everyone got?
5 for Aspen.
Aspen is a 5.
Saffrona has 8.
Okay.
I am also a 5.
Okay. So Lace is also a 5. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'll tell you what the blocking is. So it's going to be Saffrona before everything, and then Aspen, Lace, and Ray after the collapsing of the thing as it gets closer and closer. And Dracera and Alana are before the thing with Saffrona. So Saffrona, you are before. You're booking it. What are you doing? You casting magic? In action scenes, you can do one thing.
I think for now she's just gonna book it. Just for now. Nothing else really useful to do. Right? Well, I want to save a bunch of things in case things get bad. So just straight line following the footprints that are there.
Good call, Aspen, on the footprints. Very easily followable. So you do not get confused with all these other pathways that suddenly stretch before you when you start turning around. I need you to make a movement-based task, please, to run and book it and stay ahead of the thing.
That is a 5. Just a 5.
Okay. You are able to stay at pace. Okay. The Alana and Drosera are going to be, their movement is going to be based off card pulls. So I have pulled for them the Forbidden Game, which is a value of 2. Alana's being slowed down by Drosera, unfortunately. So they're a little behind still, and it's right behind them. The vines and hedge maze closes a little quicker. Aspen, Lace, and Ray. You can do one thing. You can cast magic, or you can book it, or some other thing that I haven't mentioned that just didn't pop into my head.
A secret third thing
Yeah, what's the
is
secret
that
third thing?
Ray is going to go help Alana.
Okay.
Just use his strength to like help grab, the other side of Drosera, or even just lift him up and just like bark at Alana to run and try and see if
Okay.
this is what Ray is big for.
Be big friend. Okay.
Be big friend.
So what I would like you to do is make a movement-based task to book it with Drosera.
All right, I'm gonna use Bene for this.
Yes.
Actually, could I convince you of physicality?
Yes, because you are. I can say you can use a physicality. If you do physicality, though, it'll be to see how it's not weighing you down, and you'll just keep pace in front of it. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, you can use a physicality.
All right, I will use physicality. That's an 8 on the die, so that's 9.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, Ray just does like a superhero scoop, and is again just like run, go.
All right. Lace.
This is a shirtless shark man doing.
Lace or Aspen.
I want to use magic, but I don't know if I have stuff left to spend, so that may be a problem.
You could have used a action rest to replenish your sorcery pool.
I would like to do that.
We can say you did that like in the interim, because it's just an action. So you can say it's full. Just mark it.
Okay. So I would like to use Infinity to try and trip up the carnivorous plants and like create an Ouroboros. Ouroboros.
What are you weaving from Infinity and your other aggregate? Because you always have to weave 2 different aggregates together.
Yeah. So it's freedom for us, but not for it, is my plan. And I have it open. From freedom, I guess escape for us.
Okay.
And then for infinity, space in terms of like putting it into the same space as itself, I guess. Like,
might I make a suggestion that might make a little more sense?
Sure.
Space and movement. So because escape is what would be affecting you, but you're trying to affect the plant. So movement and space kind of like wrapping it back on itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say that you can spend 3 bene to slow or hinder a creature's movement, and you will need to roll to see if it affects it. But you'll have a total of 3 added onto your venture because of this from the spell.
Okay.
So you'll roll me a magic die and a regular die, and let me know what you get on both of them.
Okay, those are both D10s, right?
Correct. Just keep an eye on which one is magic and which one's not for flux.
Okay, the first one is magic, and it is a 7.
On the die?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the other one?
It is It was cocked. Hang on. It is a 2. That doesn't seem good.
The 7 makes it, though. Tell me what happens.
So, I think that probably, I assume these mouth things are reaching out towards what it wants to chomp.
It's more just like vines.
Oh, it's more just vines?
It's vines and
Okay.
hedges, yeah.
So, I think the hedges are kind of starting to...
Uh-oh. Gilly, did we lose you?
gain. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There I am. It's raining very hard here. So the vines, I think, in essence, there's like a flash of almost like a reflection. Like it looks like when you have headlights that shine through your window and like shine on the wall opposite, only it seems to like crash into it for a second, and then they get confused and they kind of start like getting all tangled in confusion.
So there is a massive like backlog of these vines behind all of y'all, and y'all gain some speed. Aspen.
How do I get the sense that Helia is afraid?
She's afraid, yeah. But she seems okay, especially after what Lace did.
Okay. I will try, like, look directly at her and just say, run as fast as you can, and I'm going to turn and start running.
Okay. Roll me a movement task, please.
I will use a Bene for this because I'm very afraid.
You may.
Oh, that was a 9.
You are booking it and booking it well. At the beginning of the next round, the same thing, I pull a new card, which is the Hidden Moon, which is... Where is it? The Hidden Moon is Secrets, Ravens, Books, and Flame. Gallants get a +1 to their ventures. Gray magic is enhanced, Indigo is hindered, and this is on the Red Sun. So what you need to do... Gallants, that would be Aspen. Anything on this round, you get a +1. Unless I pull a different card, so I'll let you know. So, Sophrona, it's the top of the round. You are before the thing. You have a very good head start, especially after what Lace was able to do.
Can I don't know if this counts as an extra. If I glance backward, how well does everybody else seem to be doing?
Especially with all these plants like backpedaling on themselves, being very confused. Some of them kind of now actually have grown mouths and doing the Ouroboros effect. Yeah, it's slowed down considerably. But Ray has picked up Drosera, who looks injured. Alana's okay. She seems, now that she's not being weighed down by her boss, she seems okay. And then everyone else behind you, I think, is just like Lace and Aspen. Ray's catching up. He's big. He got long legs.
Okay, so nobody looks to be in any immediate danger. I mean, I can't do a lot, but like...
Correct.
Okay, so I will just keep running.
Okay, make me one more check, please. Movement task.
That is a 4.
You do lose some ground. However, you are not... It's not right at your heels, thankfully. If it wasn't slowed down, it would be at your heels.
Oh, yeah. I mean, makes sense. I was stopping to look over my shoulder, so... Tracks.
I have pulled, for Alana, the Enticing Jewel. A level of 2 Vision Swans, Blades, and Water, so unfortunately the +1 for Gallants is now gone. What was that?
I want to wait until you're done. Sorry.
Alana slows down a little bit.
Cool. I would like to use an ephemera.
All right, you can do that now that it is your block.
Fantastic, because I'm going to do use the ephemera. Take me to your blackened sky. When Ray sees that Alana, who's already going slow, is starting to slow down, he begins this incantation, which is a gray incantation that neutralizes the effects of one soothe card until the next pull of the deck.
Cool. So I will just say that does not count to her. She is succeeding at her task. She seems to slow down for a second, and then just like shake something off and keep in pace with you now. All right. That is your turn though, so you are losing a little bit, but you were ahead of it, so you now are a little bit behind them. Because you couldn't focus on running.
Gotcha.
Lace and Aspen.
Is it gaining on us?
No.
I'm moving, right? I don't have to be using my action for that.
Correct. I looked at your durations for your aggregates. Your infinity one is short, so your effect lasts more than one round.
Oh. So then can I'm assuming I can't cast again, right?
You can if you have the sorcery for it. You absolutely can.
I spent 3. I probably have 3 left, I think.
I don't know what your sorcery is at. I'm sorry.
It's 6, but I spent 3. So I have 3 left. So now that I'm holding it back. So, okay. In A Wrinkle in Time, they talk about the idea that there's other dimensions that kind of move places closer together,
yeah,
right? Through this dimension, instead of being this far apart, things are this far apart, or whatever.
I get the vibe, yeah.
I would like to do that with infinity, because infinity goes on forever. I would like the door to be closer.
All right, which qualities are you using?
Movement, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Will double movement get me anything, or should I pick something else?
Yeah, you can do double movement if you want.
Yeah, I want a double movement.
So I'll see if this is within your abilities because you can only spend up to a level 3 effect, unfortunately. You might not
also have an ephemera, but the ephemera only helps me.
Unfortunately, you would not be able to do this with only 3 ephemera, with 3 sorcery. This would be a minimum level 4 effect for one person.
Ooh.
What can I do with 3?
You can do the same thing you did earlier. You can destroy up to 5 pounds of a thing. You could create illusions, do some damage.
Oh, actually, I want to create an illusion. Okay, we're gonna have an illusion. I want to create the illusion of... I'm gonna go with the popular theory on this. I'm gonna create an illusion of a line of fire between us and it.
Okay, I will say this is
see how it feels about that.
A visual illusion the size of a small area. You can spend 3 sorcery. And
okay.
I want you to roll, please, to see if it affects it. Or if it's fooled. So please roll me a 2d10, 1 magic, 1 regular, and go from there.
The first was a 9, which I did for magic last time, so I'll keep the same order, magic. And then that's another 9. Double 9.
The plants backpedal as it sees fire. And this type of illusion is, you can practically feel the heat itself. And a bunch of you are able to run back out into the main area of the shop of Botanical Spiral, where Shard actually is taking care of a customer with his little pawsies on the, like, ringing out of a transaction. And there is a couple surprise customers as a bunch of you just suddenly burst out of the back rooms. And
Everything's fine.
Sarah's arm is torn off.
It'll grow back. It'll grow back eventually.
That was bracing.
Ray does carefully set Drosera down.
Yeah, Drosera is probably just a little shorter than Alana. So a little between Lace and Alana's height. And they give a look to Shard behind the register. And the customers, they're just the back and forth with the eyes. And Shard finishes ringing them out. And they just wave awkwardly, turn around, and go. Alana, after they've left and the door rings, goes over, locks the door.
I mean, just take what?
What was that?
I can hear you.
No, I'm just talking really, really soft. It's like, I mean, they got worried. Aspen got worried.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what happened.
That usually happen?
No. Alana came back, was looking for me for something. I'm assuming it's one of you.
Well, apologies, I guess.
It's fine. If she didn't come back, I might have been consumed while napping.
Your back room seems to have a grudge.
It shouldn't. Anyway, they kind of like wipe at pants that they don't have, just like with one hand, and they hold out a hand to you, Ray. Thank you for carrying me out.
It's a neighborly thing to do. And Ray takes the hand and shakes it.
Yeah. It's a firm handshake. Very plant-like. You just narrowly miss getting your hand consumed by a, what are they called? The plant traps? You know,
Like the Venus flytrap?
The Venus flytrap, thank you.
I love that.
That name has been escaping me for like the last week and a half. Aspen Helia is at your side, excited to be back, calming down, excitedly looking at Drosera.
Aspen is bent in half, wheezing. Aspen is not physically fit. So that was a very difficult thing for him. And he is just taking heavy, heavy breaths, looks up at Helia, no longer trying to be discreet about anything. Was it worth it? Are you okay? What happened?
All of you see Aspen talking to the direction of something. Alana doesn't seem to notice, though, assuming that you're talking to her and Drosera? I don't know what happened. As soon as I got there, there was some shaking, and then it sounds like the magic of the store was broken.
That can happen?
Absolutely.
Should we, check that, maybe?
Drosera pipes up. I'll take a look at some point. I think I need to take an actual nap, regrow my arm, give the 4 of you a thank you. Maybe Alana gets a raise.
What would cause that?
Could just be my own wards failing. I'd have to look into it. There's a lot of messed up things in the city, and the actuality, it could be anything. Could be just
Would it have anything?
It could just be because the Path of Sun said so.
Would it have anything to do with a storm coming from a withering forest at all?
They look at you confused. I don't follow.
It's actually what we're here to ask about. I went to see a diviner, and I had a vision of you, actually, in a forest that was withering, in a tree, like a withering tree. And there's a storm here last week that I think comes from that same forest out in the abstraction. And that's actually what I came to ask you about. And I don't know. Timing's very strange, you know?
As you begin talking about this withering forest and the tree, they grow quiet and grow serious. I think something like that you're asking about. I can answer it, but not now. Let's have dinner, 4 of you, and I can answer any questions you like. Maybe next week?
Yeah. Please take time to rest.
Shard made a sale. Everything is recorded. Just
I made 5 sales, excuse you.
I'm so sorry. I underestimated you.
I know how I know how to sell things.
It has to be, I have to imagine it's the plant equivalent of when you go to a toy store and there's that giant, like, 10-foot giraffe that's like thousands of dollars. And you're like, who would be in a position to buy this? Shard has sold it.
Shard has sold it. Alana looks at Drosera, looks at Shard, just kind of gives them a look, and then they're like, I'll think about it. We need another part-timer anyway. We keep losing them.
I don't know if Shard is ready to commit to a part-time job, but
I'll think about it.
Okay.
And I think that's a good place to end for the session.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wasn't expecting y'all to get almost eaten.
That's
I
not
love
what I
it.
expected either. I was like, we'll have a nice conversation at the plant store. Totally fine.
Nope.
And then I
It's
prepped
fine.
carelessly with the desperate for no reason.
I got to do magic. It
Magic
was
is fun. Okay, everybody. What was I gonna say? Hey, everybody! Thanks for joining us for session 2 of Fraying Threads. Everyone, all my players are gonna go around and, hey, tell us: do you think you got a joy or despair today? And if you think you have moved forward in your character arc. So, who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Let's go.
Ray had like a wonderful dream about like wonderful plants that have no problems, no issues. And also like hello? Like the sword like plant person? Nah,
Alana.
Ray is excited to make new friends. So joy for Ray.
Joy, you have
And-
so many joys.
He's a joyous boy
I know.
until who knows?
I don't know. And do you think you progressed your
Um,
character arc?
I think so. Got to actually talk to the songbird
Yeah.
and try and learn how to help them make their own friends.
Hell yes.
That's not going to be a problem at all.
It's gonna be fine. Who would like to go next?
I am happy to jump in.
Let's go.
I think that I did not make any progress on my character arc because I think that Aspen was very distracted by everything going on with Helia, and that is not the original goal. And I
We'll
think
get there.
that overall, I think today has been a very despairing day for Aspen. That was
That's
a
fair.
very stressful experience for him. So I'm going to give myself a despair.
That's fair.
I think I don't think Lace made any progress in her specific character arc. I think that she knows where she wants to look next to kind of find more info, but not exactly in this session. I think I thought about despair, but I think that Lace feels really good about having been able to help with the escape. Like, I think that the fact that it worked and she didn't really think it would was pretty like joyful for her. So I'm taking a joy.
Okay, perfect. And Sophrona.
I think this has been a despairing day. She has a shovel.
You still have this shovel.
I still have the shovel.
I would like to give you a little tidbit though. If you did put it down in the shop, when you went to go back, it appeared back in your hand.
I have a shovel. I had to do running today. She's not much of a runner. She's running. Everybody went to the back. You're not supposed to.
It's fine.
It's a very despairing day. I do actually think made very tiny amount of progress because she did not know previous session that the actual shapes is actually very much the same as the thing that she saw in her vision. She did not know that before, so I think there has been a small amount of progress made.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's that.
And then, last but not least, everyone will go around and say, hey, who you are, where we can find you, and we'll head off for the night. Let's go backwards. Sophrona, Gena.
Awesome. I am Gena. You can find me on Twitter at _GenaThan. Like Jonathan, but with GEN at the beginning. And also here, trying to find more stuff to do, but it's where you can find me.
Is it me? It's me.
Yeah, I think it's you.
I was waiting for someone else to go. That's not what's happening. Hi, I'm Gilly. You can find me at it's Gilly on Twitter and most other places except Instagram, where I have it's Gilly K. And that is where I update on all my theater and editing and writing and TTRPG stuff.
Hello. My name is Kian. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. My next thing is going to be on the 11th. Well, this will be my next thing next Thursday. And then on the 11th, I'll be hanging out on Roll for Felicity playing Drama Llamas. On the 12th, I'll be hanging out over on Lost Caravan playing Nova. And then in April, I will be joining Lost Caravan for their Fabula Ultima campaign, which I am super excited about.
And Ray.
And hello, folks. I have been Victor. You can find me on Twitter at Vicencio, where I have a couple of upcoming projects. I am doing a second round of playtesting for my Descended from the Queen game about an engineering team and the pilot that they all are in love with. And their mech. If you guys want to join me for a play test, please go take a look on my page. I'll probably just retweet it, so it's like right at the top, and it's amazing. I wrote this game with one of the most amazing people in my life at Orbwitch. and it's super freaking cool, and other projects will be oncoming. Next time you can see me and help enjoy my smooth voice that will make you sad, you can see me next week on Wednesday on the Mandy's channel playing Miss Lost, where I play a Tabaxi rogue who he's a gremlin, but he's so sweet.
I love gremlins. And hello, I am Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I am here every Thursday running this game of Invisible Sun. Every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern on here, Sorting Key. I am playing in our flagship game, Horizons Call, where I play a rogue centaur who is about to reveal her multi-class this next session. And not announced yet, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm just going to give y'all the date. On March 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern on Neon Lights Roleplay, I'll be premiering my game of Printweaver Pillars of Ink, which is going to be really great because it's a great cast and it's going to be really deep and sad and dark. Let's go. Last thing, last but not least, the casting call for the Ryotama game that is going to be run on the channel ends tomorrow. So if you're interested in playing this beautiful Ghibli-esque game that turns into the Oregon Trail once you fail a travel check, please sign up, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.